G'day guys, welcome back. We have got an FJ Cruiser that's coming in that we've seen once before. Had an engine rebuild done and it's been ongoing for the last 6 months. These codes are in the system. We had a quick look at it. We thought the cams, the cam signals were out on bank 2. Took it back. They took it back to the other workshop that had the engine put in it, and they did some work, and I'll show you what it was. It's back now. Alright, so we're in. Let's get a supercharger on it. So I'll show you what was done. Install new VVT solenoids, swap with known working solenoids, remove passenger side rocker cover, new inlet cam gear assembly, confirm the timing is set, place driver's rocker cover due to double checking everything is timed correctly, all okay, had auto electrician inspect for any electrical issues, none evident. So if you remember what codes we had before, look at what we've got now. So before we had, after the cam gears were replaced, we had P0018 and P0024. Cam gear assembly is replaced. Now we've got P0019 and P0021, all relating to the timing on bank 2. So I dare say we might be chasing that issue. So let me have a look if we get some live data and go from there. Okay, so I've had a look on a couple of different scan tools, no live data for these cams. So what I'm going to do is, my plan is to look at all this on top of the engine. Obviously there's a lot of stuff here to get to anything, because my plan is to unplug the oil control valves, so we're on base timing, and then I'm going to scope all 4 cam sensors, and then we'll get that up on the screen. And then we'll get our personal workshop FJ Cruiser in and compare it, because we've got a known good 100%. We're going to look at, that's going to give us an indication of base timing. If we've got something out there, then we're going to either obviously have mechanical timing out, or maybe something to do with a reluctor wheel. So that's the plan, but we're going to have to get to the ECU. It's going to be the easiest. Let's just find the ECU. Get the 4 wires. I've already got the wiring diagram. I'll get it up and I'll show you in a sec, but let's grab the ECU, make sure it's accessible. But there's a lot of stuff on the inside of the car. It's got heaps and heaps of accessories, so hopefully I can get in there, but I'll find out. I'll get to it and I'll get you back up. Alright guys, heaps of aftermarket accessories on this, so this was a bit of a pain in the ass to get to the ECU, but by moving a few things around, I was able to get to all the cam sensors. I unplugged all 4 oil control solenoids, and you can see here on the screen we have got what we need. So we're just going to stop this in a moment, and we're just going to save that data, and then we're going to get my FJ Cruiser in and we're going to compare it. Alright, so we've got the same capture on my FJ Cruiser. As you can see, with this Harrop type supercharger, I've got way more access to everything. So, not that it makes a difference to anyone, but anyway. And we've got the capture up on the screen, and this is what we've found. What I've done is I've compared this known good to the other FJ Cruiser, and what I've done is I've set up the 360 ruler here, and then I'm just using a ruler to measure between the same point and the next cam, the same point and the next cam, and the same point and the next cam. And I'll show you what we found. So, what we've got here is the good one. So the phase ruler on B2 to B2 exhaust, we've got 108 degrees, so that's the difference between these two. B1, 55 degrees from B2 intake. B1 exhaust, 47 degrees from B2 intake. So let's go for B2. And as you can see, B2 exhaust to intake is good, it's the same difference. But if you look at the difference from the B2 intake on the bad FJ and B1 intake and exhaust, it's roughly 10 degrees advanced. And as you can see, my little deduction there, B2 cams are aligned, but both advanced from B1 by 10 degrees. So if we look at the diagram here, you can see we've got a chain that goes between 2 cams on B2, chain that goes between 2 cams on B1, and then we've got our main chain here. And so look, we're going to speak to the customer. We're going to see if he'll give us time to pull both rocker covers off. Hopefully we'll set up the crank on TDC, and then we'll look at the tops of these cams and see what's going on. So stick with us and I'll show you what we find. Should the customer want to go ahead anyway, but we'll find out. So here's something interesting. The old cam gear that was replaced was in the vehicle. So if you want to see something interesting, let's count the teeth. Let's start from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and you guessed it, 36 teeth. So let's go back to what I said before. What is, let me just draw this ugly, 360 degrees, 36 teeth, so 360 divided by 36 equals, yep, you got it, 10 degrees. So I think it's time to pull these rocker covers off, and let's have a look if we can just get the crank lined up, and let's see how we go. Alright guys, we are off, we're pulled apart. So let's just have a look at this again, right? So as we can see here, we need the left timing mark on the main chain there to line up with the mark on the back of the head. Well, not on the back of the head, on the front of the head. And you see that. And then obviously on this passenger side, we need the 2 dots to be lining up with the mark on the head there. So let's see if we can have a look. You probably see those black marks. You see the black mark there. We sort of line that up going back, and that's sort of, I'll get you straight on so you can see it looks straight. And we go to the passenger bank. We have the black mark. Check that out. You see our mark at the back there. That's 1 tooth off. So basically exactly what we thought after getting those captures. So what we'll have to do is speak to the customer and see if they're happy for us to pull this off and reset that timing and get it 100% right for them. You can back off the tensioner and do this with the timing cover still on, but I would not recommend it. It's been mucked around with twice. We're going to do it properly for this customer and be 1000% sure. Alright guys, timing cover off. We're lined up on this side, as you can see. We're just, depending on where you look at it, we're looking at that tooth lined up with that mark behind, like before. Same with this one. Let's go to the other side. We're all timed up. I'll get you up here so you can see this better. There you go. So put it all back together, we'll start it up. Make sure no one gets in our way and go from there. G'day guys, all done. We're just doing the final checks after the road test. No lights on the dash. I didn't end up showing you the after capture. We're in a bit of a rush to get this done. We wanted to get this car back to the customer, so I didn't really get time to record anything. But we did the scope captures exactly the same as we did on the pre-checks, and everything lined up perfectly as per those initial numbers that we did when we first looked at that with the known good. So we've road tested the vehicle, gone over everything, make sure there's no leaks. We're back on the vehicle for the final scan, and as you can see, the scan is all green. We have no codes. We're going to get this customer back on the road with no dramas. So yeah, that was that, guys. Hopefully that was semi-interesting for you, but we're all done on this one. Thanks for watching.